and so I'm happy to, I guess, bring the last word of welcome before we really get started. But most of the preliminaries have been said. This is the Congressional App Challenge. In the 4th Congressional District, we've done it slightly longer. I think maybe this is year 4. But we've joined forces with the 1st Congressional District and Congressman Butterfield, and so that there's strength in that, I think. We have 2 districts rather than 1. We have students coming from a wider area. We certainly have good participation from our own staffs and from businesses and universities, others who have helped us out. I'm sure everybody will be introduced in the course of the day. But there are lots of folks here who know more than G.K. Butterfield and I do about technology and about apps and about the kind of support you need as you get into this and as you begin to think about your own possibilities and your own, not just as a challenge, but really what you might want to do in school as you move along, and the kind of career you might eventually want to have. So we do appreciate our sponsors and partners, and of course this beautiful setting is Fidelity. You've met Leslie Walden, and she has been a big help in not just making this possible as a location, but also giving us encouragement along the way. And I must say, where are the Fidelity volunteers? We got a bunch here. Yeah, all right, back here. Fidelity has a reputation around here for being a good corporate citizen, and one of the things they do that I got acquainted with early on was they adopt a school. Rose Grove down the road here is a good example, and these Fidelity volunteers will come in on a weekend and work with parents and students from the school and just build a playground or do wondrous things. So this is in that tradition of Fidelity's corporate involvement in the community. Christina, we appreciate you residing here and getting us started. I want to say a word about my own staff, Caitlin Anderson, first of all, who's the first among equals here among our staff. She's really the one who's taken the lead in getting this thing organized and getting the outreach that it takes to have a good support system. Our chief of staff is here, Ashley Hildebrand, right here. Nadia Alston and Tillman, I'm not sure. We have a team here, and we appreciate all of them coming out on a Saturday morning and helping us have a successful event. Just a word about where this came from. This is a Congressional App Challenge. This is probably not the usual image you have of your congressional office, but actually we do sponsor things like this for students in our districts, and this is modeled on one of the most successful long-running events. I mentioned Nadia Alston. She has been our lead staff person for years in the arts competition. Any of you have ever participated in that, the Congressional Arts Competition? All right, so this is a totally different group, but a lot of your fellow students have been part of that, where in the schools, with the help often of the arts councils and the arts teachers, students submit works of art, and we have a competition, and those art submissions are hung in our offices, and there's a winner in each district that's in a special display area up in Washington. That's gone on for a long time, at least 30 years, I think longer than that. It was certainly well underway by the time I got to Congress. So the idea was, if we could do this with respect to the arts and get this kind of involvement, and it's just like the App Challenge in that we're not looking necessarily for students that have done this before or who are very experienced. We welcome people at all levels. This might be your first effort, or you might be adding to experiences you've had elsewhere. But the idea is just to get more confident, to get more experience, and to have fun, just to really understand how enjoyable it is to work on these things. Well, that applies, of course, to art, and this has been a very successful event for many years. But we got the idea a few years ago. Why not apply this to some STEM field, some field of math and science and computer science? And that's where the App Challenge came from. We could really have a competition, which yes, it's a competition, and there will be a winner. But the point is not necessarily just the competition. The point is to take students at all levels of proficiency, all levels of expertise, and to give you a good experience, to give you some encouragement, give you some support, give you some useful knowledge that then you can take forward. So that's what this is all about. We hope you will enjoy it. There's no reason to be uptight about the competitive aspect of it. You know, competition can be fun, and competition can spur you to do your best. And so that's what we hope will happen with you today and in the events to follow. Caitlin and others will talk about the rest of the schedule as we go along through the fall. There will be an event over at the NC State Centennial Campus, as you've already heard, and then there will be a final event as we wrap up. As Congressman Butterfield stressed, we're fortunate to live where we do in this part of North Carolina, where we have so many small and large businesses that draw on technology, that offer good jobs, that offer a chance to do things that your parents and grandparents never dreamed of. There are so many new opportunities that are open to us. But one of the things we learned in designing this app challenge was that not everybody has all the experiences you could wish for in our school system. In fact, I have a couple of figures on that, and it shows that we have some work to do in North Carolina, even in this part of North Carolina, the Research Triangle area. We're a leader in technology, but a lot of our students aren't getting early exposure to coding or to computer science. There's an organization called code.org, and they found that only 40% of North Carolina schools are offering computer science courses, for example. And when you look statewide, it'd be a little better here in the Triangle, but not totally. Only 18% of our schools statewide offer AP computer science courses. And then when you look at the 1,400 students who took the AP computer science exam last year, only a quarter of those were women. Only 8% were Latino. Only 6% were African American. So we don't have enough students involved in this, and we particularly need to encourage female and minority students to be involved. And it's great to see such a diverse and representative group here today. But these figures tell you something about what we're up against as a state, as we want to be competitive. We want companies to come here because we've got the workforce. We've got the young people who are coming through the system who can take those good jobs and who can help them succeed in North Carolina. So that's the bigger picture. That's the bigger picture. This is part of our overall challenge in education and training of our workforce. It's part of the challenge. That's one reason I would think Fidelity's involved and other companies are involved. SAS has representatives here. Other companies, because they know that you're their future. They know that they can't just go on go along without engaging more and more people, more and more skills. You don't stand still in this business, and so you're part of that future. And we hope this app challenge will help you prepare yourselves for careers that will be satisfying and that will help us as a community jump to the front in the international competition that we're increasingly engaged in. So that's about all I have to say. I hope you have fun today. I hope that you'll get into this and stick with the program as we move it along through pretty much the entire school year. We have plenty of mentors, plenty of people around who can help you, everything from completing your application to figuring out how to move ahead on your actual project. So take advantage of their presence. We want to be supportive. We hope you have a good time, and we appreciate your coming out and helping us have the most successful event ever. We've doubled our participation this year. We think that's a great sign, but we know it happened because of the way you and your teachers and your families have picked up on this and taken interest. So thank you, and have a great day.